Hello there, and welcome to Star Wars 1000. Star Wars question of the day: what is the future of Lando Calrissian? Now, it's kind of interesting that Lando is still alive after Episode 9. He's one of the only characters still left alive from the original trilogy, along with Chewbacca, and we also have R2-D2 and C-3PO, who is still kicking around during the time of post-Episode 9, but they're droids, but still characters from the original trilogy. You still have C-3PO, R2-D2, Chewbacca, and Lando. And the interesting thing about Lando's ending, it was not really an ending. It was kind of more of a leaving things up in the air. Lando's ending, you could say, it's not really an ending, was he's going to be looking for his daughter in future stories after Episode 9. Which is kind of weird to be hinting at the final movie ever in the Skywalker saga. You don't give character an ending. I think an ending would have been him living the rest of his days with his daughter, but obviously this is teasing for his own series. I believe Lando Calrissian is supposed to have his own series. It was rumored to be with Billy D. Williams and Donald Glover, so I'm guessing it would have been about an older Lando and a younger Lando, different points in his timeline, which kind of sounds interesting, but I don't know what the story would have been about. And I'm not even sure if the series is still being made. That's like another series that was in talks to be in the works, and we haven't really heard anything since what's going on with that series. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not really that excited for the Lando series. I mean, it should be interesting to see, but it's not a show that I'm dying to see like all the other shows that have been announced. And I'm guessing with the Lando Calrissian TV series, we'll be continuing the storyline that was teased from the ending of Episode 9, where Lando Calrissian will be looking for his long-lost daughter. And that storyline was also talked about a bit in Shadow of the Sith book, which featured Luke and Lando. And I'm guessing since they're teasing that storyline in other media, I'm guessing the conclusion to that storyline will be wrapped up at some point, like I said, in either the Lando Calrissian TV series or in a book. But yeah, I find it kind of interesting that for the final movie in the Skywalker saga, they don't have an ending to one of their characters. Like, every character has an ending pretty much. Chewbacca gets a medal that he's been begging for, I guess, since the original trilogy. And then you have Luke, Han, and Leia. They all died at some point throughout each movie in the sequel trilogy. And then you have Lando, and he didn't die, which is a good thing. You don't have to have an ending for a character that ends with him dying. Like, just have it be a conclusion. To me, a conclusion for Lando Calrissian could have been him spending the rest of his days with his daughter going on adventures. But instead, they had his ending be left open-ended for future stories. And it's not a conclusion. You're going to have to watch more movies and TV shows possibly, or read some books or comics to find out the true ending to Lando Calrissian, which I feel shouldn't be the case. I feel like the final movie in the Skywalker saga should wrap up every character that's ever been in the Skywalker saga, like all the main characters, and Lando Calrissian is one of the main characters from the original trilogy. He's an OG, and we don't have an ending to him, and that kind of sucks. I mean, we're not yet. I'm sure we're going to get an ending to his character eventually, but I feel like that should have been showed in The Rise of Skywalker. Him having to go look for his daughter is not an ending. It's a tease to a future TV series or a movie or a book or a comic or something. It is what it is, and I'm glad he is alive. I'd rather have Lando Calrissian be alive. I don't think every original trilogy character needed to die in the sequel trilogy, so it is cool that Lando is still alive. And for now, we have just to speculate what his future will be and what will his ending be eventually. And my guess is Lando Calrissian's future is going to be him finding his daughter. Eventually, he's going to reunite with his daughter, and that's going to be something really cool. Then once he reunites with his daughter, he probably is just going to spend the rest of his days with her. And Lando Calrissian will get a nice, happy ever after ending. Maybe Chewbacca could be there as well with Lando in his final days with his daughter. And maybe Chewbacca could also help Lando Calrissian look for his daughter as well. I think that would be pretty cool having Lando and Chewbacca team up. And we get one last adventure with the original trilogy characters and that are still alive. And we just get one last team up between the two remaining original trilogy characters. Then the ending could be Chewbacca, Lando, and Lando's daughter could just all go on either on fun adventures, or they could just all retire on the planet somewhere and just chill for the rest of their lives after all these years of fighting off the Empire and the First Order and the Sith. Like, they just need a break. I mean, that's what I'm hoping will happen. I don't want to see their death. We've seen so much death in the sequel trilogy. I think it'd be better if we just saw Lando have a happy ever after ending with his daughter. It is possible he could end up dying, possibly sacrificing himself to save his daughter or to save the galaxy or something like that, which wouldn't be a bad ending. I mean, him sacrificing himself would kind of be like a natural progression for the character. He seemed like he started off somewhat of a bad guy, and he's evolved to the point where now he would sacrifice himself for somebody and for his daughter. Like I said, that wouldn't be a bad ending, having Lando Calrissian sacrifice himself for his daughter or for the galaxy, because that is a heroic act, and having Lando die as a hero wouldn't be the worst thing ever, but we've kind of seen that happen before. I want to see an original trilogy character just have a happy ever after ending, in my opinion. So, to wrap up the video, may the Force be with you always.